Hello, Fit Yummy Mummies. Congratulations, it's day 23 of the 4-week sprint. Way to go. Like I said, we're trucking along, learning all kinds of new exercise tips this week. And today I want to cover intervals and supersets. I'm going to kind of put those together because I get a lot of questions about this. And because today is the day that I officially am launching the interval training soundtracks. Yes, the guided step-by-step music tracks with my voice telling you when to start, when to stop, counting you down, throwing in some encouraging words here and there so that way you get the most out of your interval experience. So, starting off with intervals, you need to understand that first of all, there are so many different ways to do intervals. So, like in the Fit Yummy Mummy ebook and here in Club FYM, if you do a search and you'll find all this, you're like, well, why can't just give me an interval workout? Why can't you just do that? Well, because there's so many variations. And I can just give guidelines and then you need to cater it to meet your own needs. Basically, the concept is you work intensely for a short period of time, then you take a break for a short period of time before repeating it and doing it again. And I'll show you an example, and I have plenty of other examples all over the place. Now, if you want specific step-by-step interval programs, that's what the whole interval training soundtrack program is all about. I mean, it comes with the music and it comes with the workout guide, so that way you see all the exercise ideas, and then you have workout plans that meet your needs that are timed, whether it's 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, or the more advanced 60 seconds on, 30 seconds off. But of course, you know, you're never limited to those time periods. Rule of thumb is that if you can work intensely for longer than 2 minutes, you're not working intensely enough. Because the short burst of 30 seconds, 60 seconds, even 90 seconds is enough when you work with intensity, and that's the key. Think intervals, intense. This is my time to get down and dirty with these intervals and push myself as hard as I can. And we talk about the perceived rate of exertion, and that's just on a scale of 1 to 10. You should be working around 7, 8, 9. No, I don't want you to work around 10. 9's kind of pushing it, because working at a 10 would mean that you're kind of like blacking out and you're going to pass out, you can't breathe. I don't want you to work that hard. Just kind of get closer to that so that it's out of your comfort level, out of your comfort zone. So this is just an example of what intervals would look like. I'm just going to choose jumping jacks and marching in place. But the key is that you're going to work intensely, let's just say, for 30 seconds straight. So when you say, when it's go time, you are pushing yourself with these jumping jacks. This is not leisurely, and ideally, you're not talking during these, but since I'm fresh and I'm just getting started, and I want you to know, jumping jacks is a basic movement, but even for myself, I can make it intense, because I can go really fast. Okay? If that's not you, then slow it down to a point where you can do it. Okay? Now 30 seconds is up, so now I'm just going to march it out for 30 seconds. You can stand in one place, you can kind of pace back and forth, depending on what's around you. Until, and this is for you, I'm catching my breath, because guess what? Beep, beep, 30 seconds on again. Working as hard as you can for 30 seconds. All right, 30 seconds is up. So now what do? March it out for 30 seconds. Slow it down just long enough to catch your breath. Now with intervals, the key is you're doing that repeatedly for, depending on your time periods, like I was just saying, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, you want to do as many rounds, which could be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, to get you to an average of 10 to 15 minutes of intervals. Now, if you're just getting started with intervals, of course, you know this disclaimer, make sure that you talk to your doctor first, especially if you have special medical conditions and if you have previous injuries, because the last thing you want to do is work that intensely and hurt something. All right? This is all common sense with any time you start a new exercise program. Now, the other thing to think about is that when you're new to intervals, this is not about, oh my God, I failed. I didn't get to 15 minutes. No. Write this phrase down. You hear me talk about it all the time. Something is better than nothing. Say it with me. Something is better than nothing. And when you're new to intervals, and every single person that I worked with when I worked one-on-one in a gym, even if they were the so-called cardio queens who could go for 45 minutes straight, even maybe some 60, some 90, when I put them on a treadmill and I made them do real intervals, guess what? Guess what they felt like at just 8 minutes. 8 minutes in, and they're like, how much longer do I have to do this? That's when you know you're doing it right. And when you're just getting started, if you can only get up to 8 minutes, fine. You're using your workout log, you're tracking it, and you're saying, you know what? Next time I do this, I'm going to try to go a little bit longer. That's all this is, progressive. You work your way up to it. Now, of course, there are so many different options. Like I said, you can do different time periods. Like in the interval training track program that I created, you have the option to just get the 60-60, that 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off basic package, or you can do the deluxe package, which has 3 different soundtracks. So it has the 60 seconds on, 60 seconds off, 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, 60 seconds on, 30 seconds off. 3 of those soundtracks that you can rotate between. And of course, the movements that you use are based on your ability and your fitness level. Maybe for some of you, you don't need to, like when I was showing you, when I was jumping jacking, and then I marched it out. Maybe what I call the low period, your active rest period, maybe some of you are doing burpees for 30 seconds, and your catch your breath period is jumping jacks. And maybe they're not like super fast like I was just doing. They're just kind of casual. Before you get back down, and I know you won't see me, again, and do your burpees for 30 seconds. That's somebody who would be more advanced. Find where you fit in there. Take into account your exercise experience and choose exercises that are best suited for your needs. Now, supersets. Just because I'm out here telling you about all this stuff and how to do the Fit Yummy Mummy workouts. This is one of the mistakes that a lot of women make too. They're like, oh my God, I've been doing supersets all wrong all this time. No. Once again, what is that phrase? Yes, something is better than nothing. And at least now you know, and you can change your Fit Yummy Mummy workouts if you've been doing them wrong. Supersets are when you take those 2, and when you have your Fit Yummy Mummy program in front of you, it's all mapped out there for you. Typically looks like A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So we're going to start with superset A. What does that mean to do supersets? Well, that means you're going to do those 2 exercises back to back with little to no rest. 2, 3 times in a row, and then you take a break. Then you move on to superset B. So what does that look like? It looks like this. And I'm just going to make up a couple exercises. Let's just say A1, body weight squats. And you're going to do 10 body weight squats. So there's 9, 10. What's A2? Assisted push-ups? Great. You're going to do assisted push-ups. You have to do 10 of them. 9, 10. Since it's a superset, now I'm going right back into 10 squats. 9, 10. Go right back into assisted push-ups. 9, 10. Go right back into 10 squats. Go right back into 10 push-ups. Now, after you repeat those 2 exercises, and I just did 3 times in a row because that's average, then you take a break. But when you're doing your exercises back to back in a superset, you're only resting long enough to get in position for proper execution of the next movement. Yes, if you're just getting started with all this and you need to take a moment to catch your breath, go for it. It's not going to hinder your results. It will hinder your results if you pass out and you cannot work out and you hurt yourself. Then you can't get results from exercise, all right? Something is better than nothing. So after I complete superset A, then I'm going to go into superset B. Same thing. Those 2 exercises, on average 3 times in a row, back to back with little to no rest. Take a break. Next one, superset C. Those 2 exercises, back to back, in a row, with little to no rest. At the end of superset C, guess what? Congratulations, you made it. And at that point, you can either go into your interval session if you're doing 3 days a week, or you're finished. Go grab your post-workout drink. Enjoy the rest of the day. Notice how much more energized you feel. All right, so there we have it. Intervals and supersets. I hope that clarifies any questions that you had. If you want some extra assistance with your intervals, that program is now available. Keep up the great work.